What if I told you that the greatest prison in the world has no walls, no guards, and no locks? It exists inside your own mind. Every day, millions of intelligent people wake up, believing that if they think just a little harder, analyze one more possibility, replay one more conversation, or imagine one more outcome, they will finally find peace. But something strange happens. The more they think, the less they understand. The more they search for certainty, the more anxious they become. If you've ever laid awake at 3 in the morning replaying a conversation that ended days ago, if you've ever imagined every possible future until you became afraid to take even one step, if you've ever felt exhausted without doing any physical work, then this video is for you. Because today, you are not going to learn how to think better. You are going to discover why your mind has quietly become your greatest enemy, and by the end of this journey, you may never look at your thoughts the same way again. Most people believe overthinking is caused by having too many problems, but psychology reveals something much deeper. Overthinking is not a problem-solving tool. It is often an emotional defense mechanism. Your brain believes that if it keeps analyzing every detail, it can protect you from pain, rejection, failure, embarrassment, or uncertainty. It creates the illusion that endless thinking equals control. But control is exactly what life refuses to give us. Imagine holding a handful of water. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. The mind works the same way. The harder you try to control every outcome, the faster peace disappears. Think back to your childhood. Before fear became your daily companion, you didn't calculate every word before speaking. You laughed without worrying whether someone was judging you. You made mistakes without believing they defined your worth. Somewhere along the way, the world taught you that mistakes are dangerous, rejection is unbearable, and perfection is necessary. Since then, your brain has been running an invisible survival program. Every thought is checked. Every decision is questioned. Every memory is replayed. Every future is rehearsed. But here's the cruel irony. The mind that promises safety slowly steals your freedom. The person who overthinks doesn't actually live in the present. They live in imaginary futures and rewritten pasts. Their body exists here, but their mind is trapped somewhere else. This is why overthinking feels so exhausting. Your brain is fighting battles that don't even exist yet. Imagine watching the same movie thousands of times, hoping the ending will change. That is what overthinking does. It repeats the same mental scenes with different imaginary endings, convincing you that eventually you'll discover the perfect answer. But perfection is a destination that never arrives. Every answer creates another question. Every solution creates another doubt. Every certainty gives birth to another fear. Have you ever noticed that the smartest people are often the ones who struggle the most with overthinking? Intelligence becomes a double-edged sword. A creative mind can imagine beautiful possibilities, but it can also imagine endless disasters. The same imagination that creates innovation can create anxiety. The brain doesn't distinguish between vividly imagined danger and real danger. Your heart races. Your breathing changes. Stress hormones flood your body, even though nothing is actually happening. You become physically tired because your brain believes it has survived hundreds of crises that never existed. This is why overthinking feels so real. Your body cannot tell the difference between reality and repeated imagination. And slowly, something even more dangerous happens. You begin confusing your thoughts with your identity. Instead of saying, "I'm having anxious thoughts," you start believing, "I am an anxious person." Instead of saying, "My mind is creating fear," you begin saying, "I am broken." But you are not your thoughts. Thoughts are events. They come. They stay for a while. Then they leave. The tragedy begins when you invite every passing thought to become a permanent resident inside your mind. Picture yourself sitting beside a busy highway. Cars pass continuously. Some are beautiful. Some are damaged. Some are loud. Some are quiet. You don't chase every car. You simply watch them pass. Thoughts should be treated the same way. Yet most people jump into every passing thought and allow it to drive their entire day. One negative idea becomes an hour of worry. One criticism becomes a week of self-doubt. One mistake becomes a lifetime of regret. This is not because life is difficult. It is because the mind has forgotten how to let go. And perhaps the biggest lie your mind ever told you is this: once I figure everything out, then I'll be happy. But happiness has never been the reward for perfect thinking. Peace begins the moment you stop demanding certainty from an uncertain world. The greatest minds in history understood something that modern society keeps forgetting. Wisdom is not knowing every answer. Wisdom is becoming comfortable with not knowing. The moment you stop trying to control every possibility is the moment your life finally begins.